Adam Stark here, live on the Stark Truth News Report. What should you be doing with your life? What should you be doing? Okay, assuming you're an adult right now, okay, and that you're a civilian, what should you be doing with your life? Well, you should be looking for your partner, your future spouse, and be having a family. That's the best thing you can do. That is the biblical answer. Therefore, it is the correct answer. So, why don't people do that? Why do you find people not doing that? Well, there's a lot of reasons. And a lot of it has to do with the mind control from the corporate media, the television, cartoons, and the psyops. Things that are telling you that this is wrong, this is scary, this will end well, and it's always bad, and it doesn't work. Okay, so but why does that happen? Why do we get that kind of pushback? Well, because that goes against the depopulation agenda that the elite have in store for us. You can see this agenda pop up everywhere. Look up Agenda 21, look up the Bilderberg groups. Okay. It's all over. This is what they want. They want to depopulate us. They've been doing that with several things. They've been pushing alternative lifestyles for years. That's nothing new. Okay. This was also in a few books. This was in New World Order by Ralph Epperson. You can look that up as well. This is from Satanist author Alice Bailey. Everything that those two authors have said, it's basically came true. George Orwell, 1984. Talk about the elite and their goals. Okay, this is nothing new, but for some reason, I don't know. It's very heavily censored out there. So why is it such an affront, such a problem to raise kids and have a family? Well, for one, because that's what God wants. And the elite are always against God. They want to be gods themselves. Okay. They don't want us repopulating. They don't want that. Remember, people on record like Bill Gates and Ted Turner have on record said they want the world's population down to 500,000. Okay. You can't get that without a genocide. There's no way. Okay. So don't be stupid and tell me, oh, he didn't mean it like that. Just get out of here. Like, some arguments you just shouldn't be having. Like, it's just sad that we still have to argue about this. But so how does it happen? Well, it's fear. A lot of it is fear. How do they portray fathers in cartoons? It's always the dad is a complete idiot and a complete fool, and it's like you cannot have a a dad that just is smart and does the right things and is a natural father. It just doesn't happen. Now, yes, of course you can say there's shows that show that. Of course. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it generally does not happen. Okay? I mean, look at The Simpsons, look at Family Guy, disgusting programs that should be destroyed from the face of the earth. Okay? Now, it's in all the movies, okay? The Men Are Pigs project. This is old news. This is nothing new. This has been around forever. They want to separate the sexes. How do they do that? They go after the females. They say if they can break that link, that's all they need to do. They don't have to traumatize us. If they can make women think all men are bad and all normal men are bad and that all normal looking, regular looking men are just pure evil and they're all out there to get you ladies, then they've done their job. And that's what they've been pushing. This is nothing new. They've done this for a long time. This is nothing new. Okay. And again, when I bring up Operation Mockingbird, the CIA owns your media. Okay. So you can't tell me, oh, they do. No, they own your media. That's declassified. You can look that up yourself. And then you're going to say, well, the government can't be that evil, Adam. Okay. What about when we bring up the other declassified operations like Operation Northwoods? When what they wanted to do was, this is back in Kennedy's era, with General McNamara, they wanted to actually do a false flag attack to get us on board with wanting to go to war with Cuba, where they would actually shoot a plane down of college students and actually kill our own people so that we would justify it as a reason to go to war with Cuba. That's a declassified operation. Now, Kennedy said no to it, and that's a declassified operation. You can look that up yourself. That's public. Okay, it's not. I'm not telling you something just off of my memory. I mean, I am, but you can look that up yourself. Okay, you don't think the government's evil? Look up this. I find it hilarious when my friends bug me with. Sorry, I'm gonna go off a tangent for a second. When my friends bug me with AI and they say, well, Adam, look, I asked AI about all the evil operations that the government does, and how come they never? And I'm going, there you go. It's because it's being covered up. So, like, they asked AI, tell me every declassified evil operation the government's ever done. They named just 5. They stopped at 5, and they said, there you go. That's the end. And I'm going, I can name 5 more off the top of my head that you never mentioned. Operation Gladio, Operation Menu. Matter of fact, look up Operation Menu. That was disgusting. Look up Operation Crying Soul. Okay, Operation Menu, Operation Crying Soul. Those were in Vietnam. Those operations were disgusting, what they were doing. Okay, that's Henry Kissinger's freaky satanic ass putting that together. And those are declassified. You can look that up yourself. Operation Menu. Okay, these are disgusting people. You got to stop with this. Oh, they're bad, and I hate politicians, but I still don't think they're that bad. You got to just stop, dude. You got to stop with that mentality. You're not doing yourself any favors, honestly. It's just sad at this point. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So how does this work? Well, you got a few things. You got the illusion of choice, the Coke or Pepsi argument, the red versus blue argument, that there's a two-party system, and that therefore you are choosing your future. No, you're not. It's all set up. It's puppetry. Remember, I told you before, and this is public information. This made the national news that there was a girl in middle school who was smart enough to actually go in the lineage and genealogy of all of our United States presidents, and she put it together and proved every single United States president is related by blood. Blood. Related by blood, except one. One president was not related by blood, Martin Van Buren. That's it. Every other president has been related to each other by blood through the the British king. Forgive me, I can never get it right. It's either King Edward III or King Henry III. Now that's my bad. I'm going off of memory. Excuse me, but my point is still valid. Besides getting the one name right or wrong, but they're all related. So you can't tell me we have a legitimate election and a legitimate election process when they're all related. It's just get out of here. Okay? It's just get out of here with that crap. Okay, you have to be part of that bloodline in order to get in that seat of power. That's it. Or you're not getting in sniffing distance of it. Okay? And if you do and you do wrong and the blackmail fails or whatever, you're getting assassinated. Okay, it's that simple. So they have control, okay, but they know they don't have complete control because not everybody's falling for it. But unfortunately, a lot of people are falling for it. Yes, it's sad. A lot of people do when they put up psyops. When they have all these media constantly showing women how evil men are. They're all the worst. Oh, the most normal looking guy in the world with glasses and a collared shirt who's a pipsqueak. Oh no, he's evil. He's the worst person ever. He's the next Hitler. That's how they're portraying, and it works to a large extent. Look at Lifetime. I mean, I can watch Lifetime because I can laugh. Okay, I'll watch Lifetime with my shorty, and I'll laugh because Lifetime, the whole show, every movie is the man is deranged, demented, sick, and perverted. There's no normal men on a Lifetime movie. It doesn't happen. I mean, it's absurd. I remember in school, high school, we had to watch this movie on Lifetime, and it was this girlfriend had a boyfriend she was in high school, and the boyfriend was a grown adult past high school, and she didn't text him back within 5 minutes, and the guy broke into her room, upstairs, broke into the window and came into her room, and he's like, "Hey, you didn't text me. Are you okay? Why didn't you text me?" And the girl didn't see that as a red flag. But it's like, dude, it's pitiful. It's pitiful the lengths that you go to try and stop this population. Okay? It's pitiful. Yes, we know you want to depopulate. Yes, we get it. We get it. But it's like you're doing too much. Just stop. It's embarrassing. But it does work to an extent. We all see that. Look how they control women with the Cosmo magazine or whatever. All that stuff is about women. You don't need men. You just have to be good in bed and have plenty of partners and have a lot of bodies. And but that's all that garbage. It's like, dude, really? They're pushing that agenda constantly, constantly. When what you should be doing is raising a family. That's what you should be doing. Okay? Maybe not right away, but eventually. That's what you should be doing. That's God's plan. That's how you preserve your family line, your lineage. That's how you do not let the New World Order win. Okay? That's how you do not let them win. You don't let them infringe on your rights and your amendments and stuff. That's what you do. You fight back. You fight for your constitutional rights and your Bill of Rights. That's what you do. Now, it gets worse. So what we have is we have what's called psyops. You have, and some of these, I'm not even gonna hold you. Some of these are mad funny to me. You'll have them where something will happen, right? You'll have something go wrong, some shooting or something, and that's horrible. But then what they'll do, it's comical because you already know what they're gonna do. Look up the Hegelian dialectic. Look up problem, reaction, solution. Look up cognitive dissonance. That's what they want you to have. And learn helplessness. So it's the predictability of when the event happens and it's reported on the news or whatever, then what they do is they manufacture what the reaction should be. They're telling you how to react. They're not asking questions. They're not real journalists anymore. There haven't been real journalism for decades. Instead, they tell you what to think. They tell you what to think, and they lie, and they can do this all the time because no one's going to stop them. They can say the majority believe that. Yeah, I'm sure the majority. Did you ask everybody? Did you ask me? Did you ask my neighbor? Did you ask anybody in my whole city? No, you didn't. So it's one of those things. They can get away with saying that because who cares? The Smith-Mundt Act was repealed a decade ago or whatever, which allows the media to legally lie and get away with it without legal repercussion. So why not lie? Why not? What's the harm? They can't get in legal trouble, unlike the rest of us. So they already have the reaction lined up for us. Then what they do is they tell us what the solution is, as if everybody wanted this solution. And what does the solution often involve? Infringing on our rights and our privacy, and it's in the name of national security. And it usually is like a joke. It's usually like okay, so here's the one that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And this is from Canada. If my memory's right, this is from Ottawa, Canada. This one is so baffling to me that I want to punch this guy in the face. This was a police officer from the Ottawa Police Department, whatever it's called up there, the RCMP, right? Royal Canada Mounted Police. If my memory's right, there was a shooting in Ottawa. Yeah, this was a decade-ish ago, and what they were saying was that the shooting happened because they don't have enough access to your computers. Yes, you, the innocent civilian, they don't have enough access to your computers. They need to monitor and watch you at all times. They need to have their eye on you. Big Brother has to watch you constantly at all times. You need to be surveilled because then they'll know how to stop these sickos from committing atrocities, right? And they actually said this on live TV. There was some bill pushed forward for it or whatever. And obviously, the Canadians that are citizens are like, get out of here with that garbage. No, screw you. You don't need to have my privacy. You don't need to look at what I'm doing on my computer. I'm an innocent person. I'm a citizen, and I don't commit crimes, and I'm not up to no good, and I have my right to privacy. Now, any thinking person knows this, okay? They're not stupid, but they think you're stupid because this is what they said live on TV. I'll never forget this. Vic Taze, that was his name. This police officer in Canada, Ottawa, Vic Taze said this on TV. He's pushing for this bill to get passed that says anything you do on your computer, on your Wi-Fi at home, that the Canadian Police Department, they get to have eyes on it. They get to see it live on time right now. They get to see it as well. They got their eyes on it. And Vic Taze actually said this on live TV. He said, if you're not with us, you're with the child molesters. Unbelievable. What a stretch. What a stretch that is to invade your privacy, innocent civilians' privacy. And he that's his appeal. He says that's what you need to do. Unbelievable, dude. I was like, I can't believe they have the nerve to say this on TV, and to say and to think people are that stupid that they could fall for it. I mean, it's unreal. But it's not just their country, obviously. Okay, it happens all over. Happens in many places in the world. Okay, many developed countries have the same problem because we're all slaves to the Western banking central system that we can't escape from, right? So, the thing is, they have it so screwed against us, we can't really win. Okay, now, how else does this work? How else do we accept this? Well, they spoon feed you. They don't just tell you right away, hey, alternative lifestyle, learn it and don't have kids, don't get married, it's not worth it, whatever. They don't do that. No. They spoon feed you slowly. Okay? One thing they do, and this is as old as the hills. It's called predictive programming. What they will do is they will show you in all sorts of media, magazines, especially The Economist, comic books, movies, TV shows, cartoons, even advertisements. They will show you something that is going to literally happen in the future, but before it happens. And what it does is it subliminally makes you accept it until people like me expose it. And then you can be more awake and realize, okay, I'm not falling for it, because what it does is they make it seem like it's normal. You notice how times change? And it's like, hey, remember my generation when we had such and such and such and such? And now this generation sucks because of such and such. And you go, how did that happen? Well, people won't admit for some reason it's because of the media. Yes, it's because literally of the media. That's why. And who runs the media? Exactly. That's my point. Okay. So like The Simpsons needs to be shut down. Absolutely disgusting. Matt Groening is a NAMBLA supporter. Get out of here. Okay. He had that episode of The Simpsons where this guy was making a robot and it was called the National American Man Bot Love Association or whatever. So it spells NAMBLA and it changes not just one word, one letter. Instead of NAMBLA, North American Man Boys Love Association, aka pedophile, it has Man North American Man Bot Love Association, BOT, and they were making a whole speech, Simpsons, saying we need to love the robots. The robots deserve better. The robots, we need to have conformity. Disgusting. You're Matt Groening. Okay, you support NAMBLA. Okay, you had that Simpsons episode about NAMBLA spelled out literally, except you changed it from boy, the word boy, to bot, B-O-T, because you were saying robots need to be treated differently. Robots, we need to love robots. Okay, you're disgusting. I can't forgive something like that. I can't. I have a conscience. Okay, I believe in Jesus Christ, who my Lord and Savior, who I worship. Okay, you believe in NAMBLA, so no. And there's no such thing as a joke about NAMBLA. Okay, like that's dumb. Don't tell me NAMBLA can be funny. You're disgusting. Get out of here. I don't support people who support pedophiles. Matt Groening, fuck you. Okay, on top of that, okay, how many times has The Simpsons shown something before it happens? That's called predictive programming. They want you to get used to that. They want you to be used to that stuff. They want that to be normalized. They want to show you things before they happen so you subliminally accept it, because your subconscious is something that the elite know better than we do. Those are secrets that won't be revealed to us. Okay, so it's an uphill battle. Okay, Family Guy, same thing. Get out of here. You constantly show stuff before it happens because you're part of a satanic cabal, and I'm sick of you. I'm sick of all of you. Okay, Seth MacFarlane thinks all the people that died on 9/11, he thinks that's funny. Okay, I don't think that's funny. I don't think a bunch of people dying is funny. Especially innocent people. They didn't do anything. I don't think that's funny. Okay, you think that's funny. Okay, because you're a Satanist. Okay, because you're probably someone who loves NAMBLA too, like Matt Groening. Okay, fuck you too. Okay, these are sick people. Now that shouldn't surprise anybody. So the thing is, when it gets deeper, right? Here's the thing: when they have what do you call like predictive programming events that are on the fence. Okay, in other words, they could be, but they could not be. And then what do? The media specifically picks those so they can laugh and demonize us. Okay, but notice they will never pick one that's concrete proof of something that was provably shown that happened in a literal depiction. Okay, such as the movie The Poltergeist, some horror movie, right? In that movie, they actually showed the exact score of some baseball game, and literally on the wall, they had a picture of it of a game that hadn't happened in real life yet. They showed the exact final score of the game and the teams that were playing and everything. And then we're supposed to go, oh, they just guessed, right? Right? That's what we're supposed to say. That they just guessed and they happen to be good at guessing. Get out of here. No, we're not doing that. Family Guy did that too. They had some Super Bowl game with the exact score shown at one point in the episode and in the background or whatever. Get out of here. Okay, we're not buying this. We know you guys are satanic. We know you're into some occultic knowledge, and we don't want that knowledge. We want salvation. So screw you. Screw what you're doing to us. Yes, I know it's working, but screw what you're doing to us. We're sick of it. We've had enough. Okay? I don't care how many times you try and show us that having a family is wrong or that having a family is not fun or it's not safe or whatever. It's not, and it's not a, and you'll put it in health magazines will lie to you and say, well, the science doesn't support. Get out of here with that crap. If it's politically motivated, it's not real science anyway. Okay? How stupid do you think we are? All right? I'm not falling for it. I'm not. All right. That's what I want to talk to you about today. Sorry about that interruption. My phone was weird. It said it had a high temperature or something. I don't but the clock is still ticking, so I think we're still good. But remember, don't let them win. Okay? Do what you're supposed to do in life. Have a family, raise kids. Have that. Let's make that happen, right? Oh, screw it. I'm gonna say one more thing. Screw it. Well, unless my phone dies on me again. Okay, another psyop that hook, line, and sinker. People fell for it. The flat Earth, the dumbest psyop of all time. People still fall for it to this day. It's insane. Yes, NASA lies about stuff. It is a government-funded thing, but that doesn't mean they lie about everything. That's how stupid they are. They think, oh, everything is automatically a lie. No, no, no. Everything, the whole thing ever been touched by NASA must be a lie. So that no, stop being stupid. Okay, but no, a lot of people are shills and they'll push that and pretend that they're being authentic or whatever, and then other people buy it. Here's the point. It's a joke. It's laughable because if it was true, it would be the biggest conspiracy of all time because it has to do with our entire existence being a flat surface Earth and having edges that we could fall off of that we've never found and all this garbage. But why is it important that I'm talking about it? Soon as this became popular, so many people fell for it, although some of them did on purpose because they're shills. I understand. But a lot of people fell for it as well. Hook, line, and sinker. The government used it against us all the time. Someone questions another major event that happened, an act of terrorism, and we're questioning the government's involvement in it. Then what do? I actually heard this verbatim. The president at the time said, oh, you must be part of the Flat Earth Society. Hook, line, and sinker, you fell for it. Okay? That's how they do it. That's how these psyops work. They make you scared. They make you, the fear porn is real. They make you fall for stuff. That's why you have very useful idiots like Alex Jones who push fear porn constantly, says we're going to get nuked all the time. Y2K, we're going to get nuked. We're all going to die the time we turn the year 2000, right? That's what he said. Useful idiot. Okay. The guy does a money laundering scam where he asks for donations to fight tyranny, but it was conveniently during his divorce settlement. It's insane. Like, people still fall for it. And this was the guy who sold t-shirts saying Ebola was the end game and that it was a government funded thing, that it was going to end and wipe out society. It was going to be the end game of society. He sold t-shirts called Ebola. Like, he sold t-shirts telling you Ebola was the government's end game operation. And now it's all, oh, we just don't talk about it. Don't worry. We just don't talk about it. Exactly. Exactly, because you're a con artist and you're a useful idiot for them. You're on their side. We see through you. You're an idiot. Okay? All right. Done talking about nasties and uglies today. Thank you for watching and listening. Stay strong, stay vigilant, be skeptical, and sorry that my phone did its weird thing that it did. Peace.